much. We storytellers were talking, it'd be great to go without notes, wouldn't it? I always admire any speaker that can do this without notes. But I think we're all here this evening to celebrate Oakland. And it's a great place. And the OPDC, I think, is the kind of organization you can take for granted totally. And you can walk by it on Atwood Street and never think about it being there. But they do a lot of really good work. It's a lot of good people doing work to keep Oakland a great place to live, to work, to play. So people from all walks of life, all religions, all cultures, we all come together in Oakland, and it's a really wonderful place that I've loved since I was a little kid. So when they asked me if I would come and be an MC, I said sure, because there's few neighborhoods that I want to celebrate as much as Oakland. I did do a show. I was started myself to find out 16 years ago, called Something About Oakland, and it was great fun, and we got to do all the kinds of things you really want to do, and ask people questions about stuff. I still have a few posters, and they're over here. If you're so inclined. I think this is the end. So they're collector's items, and they say something about Oakland, and it's a really great Clyde Hare photograph. And if you would appreciate an Oakland poster, I put some rubber bands there too. All right, so I'm looking at my notes to see where do I go from here. I always like to ask trivia questions when I host something like this. And so I brought some. It's such a beautiful day in this neighborhood. And I thought I could ask a Fred Rogers question. Okay. I'm lucky enough to work with Kevin Conrad, who will celebrate his 40th year at WQED this year. He's younger than me, but he's been there 40 years since he got out of college, and he worked on a lot of the Mr. Rogers programs. Certainly not all of them, because I don't think there's anybody left at QED that worked on them all. Because you can trace it back to 1954, April Fool's Day 1954, when WQED went on the air, right here on Belfield, down at the corner across from the Cathedral of Learning, where the music school at Pitt is now. It was a dirty black building at the time, but that's where WQED, in spite of the soot, got started. And I have a really nice connection to Josie Carey, who was on that program when it first started. She and Fred produced Children's Corner, and out of that grew Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which I always tell people when they're on a tour of QED, all the color programs for Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood were shot at our new location on Fifth Avenue next to Central Catholic, which opened in 1970. But David Newell, Mr. McFeely, told me that there were a few color shows done down here at this location with a bus, where they brought in color cameras, because Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood went national in 1968, and they had to do color programs from there. So anyway, I asked Kevin for a really hard trivia question about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I have a backup, easier question, but I always like to start with the hard one, all right? I have to ask you, please not holler out. Please raise your hand. We're in a school, all right? If you think you know the answer, any of the answers, raise your hand and I will try to, call on you. If you know Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the programs, you know that part of it is in his house, and that's the real neighborhood. And then, at some point in the show, he always sits on the window bench, and a little trolley comes by, and it takes us all to the neighborhood of make-believe. Okay? And in the make-believe, that's where you never see Fred Rogers, you just see puppets, which he is usually behind, and, Lady Aberlin, all the different characters that are there. Here's my question. Please raise your hand if you want to answer any of these questions. In the neighborhood of make-believe, there's a factory. Number one, who owns and runs the factory? Now, oh wow, number two, what's the name of the factory? And number three, what do they make? So I saw a hand right here. No, Lady Elaine has the museum go round. I'm sorry, Lady, all this stuff. This is the factory. All right, I see a hand in the back. Yes?
Is it the workers?
Is it the...
Do the factory workers own the factory?
No, the factory workers don't own the factory. Although that may have happened in an opera or something. Yes, ma'am, I think I saw your hand too, early on.
Friday the 13th.
No, not King Friday the 13th. There's a hand right behind you.
Corny especially.
That is exactly right. You get a copy of something about Oakland. Corny, or Cornflake especially, owns and runs the factory. Do you happen to know what it was called? Anyone? I don't have enough prizes to give away for all of them. Yes?
H.J. Hines.
No. How could a man named Cornflake make a pet? No, H.J. Hines, no. It was called the Rocket Factory in the neighborhood of Make-Believe. What did they make? Anybody? No, no rockets. Mr. Rocket's neighborhood.
Rocking
Yes.
chairs.
Rocking chairs. That's exactly right. You already got the prize, so you deserve it. So, we're here tonight to tell stories about Oakland. And, somebody wanted to know the easy question. The easy question is, in the neighborhood of Make-Believe, there's a big tree. 2 characters live in the tree. Who are they? Do you know?
Daniel and somebody else.
No, Daniel lives in the club. Yes, ma'am. XDL was one answer. Who else? What's the other one? Anybody? And we got a pussycat. That's the easy question. All right. So we're going to tell stories about Oakland, and when I met with the people from OPDC earlier to get ready for this, I told them that I know that I love Oakland because after the summer after first grade, I went to St. Valentine's School in Bethel Park. I grew up in Bethel Park, went to Bethel Park High School and all of that. But the summer after first grade, Sister Loretta, my teacher, recommended me for a school at the Falk School by the hotels. I mean, by the hospitals. Hotels. It wasn't called that at the time, but I think now it might be called like a school for gifted children. So they recommended me, I was recommended by my school, and my mother said, well, this means I would have to drive you to Oakland every day. I was 7, you know, I had just turned 7. And my mother was very clever, and so she called and she said, I will drive Rick to Oakland every day for this school, if you will take my other son as well. So my older brother Skip had just finished 3rd grade, and he fit into the demographic as well, so they agreed that they would take both of us for her hardship of driving our big old 1954 orange Pontiac Sky Chief from Bethel Park to Oakland every day. And quite frankly, I remember little about the school. There was an art class, and the art teacher and I did not get along, and I remember that. I mean, it's so odd to think that I remember this from being 7, but what I do remember is what my mother did every day. She grew up in Hazelwood. She graduated from Alderdice, and she went 2 years at Carnegie Tech before she dropped out to put my father through Pitt. She made us an adventure every day. We went to the museum, we went to the library, we went to Isley's. She packed picnics for us in Shenley Park. Every day was something different. We would go different places, and she knew all these places because she had sort of grown up around here. I mean, it wasn't that far from Hazelwood. So it was just really the best summer of all time. I mean, and I know that it imprinted on me, Oakland is really where you want to be. So, I'm going to say, you know, it would come up occasionally. I believe I was in college one day when, you know, something came up about, remember the summer you took us to Oakland or something? And my mother said, I've never talked to you about that, have I? And I said, I don't know. She goes, about at the end of the summer. And I said, I don't think so. And she said, well, I think you're old enough to handle this. I said, what? She said, at the end of the summer, they said to her, Mrs. Sebak, you have a son who is brilliant. It's not great.